And the greatest video I think that everyone should see right now to help them to get it, what's happening, is published in 2017. And it's called 10 Myths About Government Debt. 10 Myths About Government Debt. Anthony, Antony, not an H. Davies, Davies. And he was published, it wasn't even his own channel. He's got his own channel, but this wasn't even published on his own channel. And he's done an updated version of this recently after this whole COVID thing hit, but he's not referring to COVID in it because he knows that's not what it's about. Right.
Right.
And so it's just to give a snapshot. He said the myth is that the government is in debt $20 trillion. So in 2016, that was the number that the US government was publishing. He said that's a myth. Yeah, they owe 20 trillion to the Fed, whatever. Yeah, good.
To China, to the Fed. I mean,
whoever, around the world. But there's an unfunded obligations that people have got to be aware of, and that's the most important thing of all. And the unfunded obligations are the retirement plans, the pensions, Medicare, the Medicaid. Those make up the bulk of those unfunded obligations, and they are a federal level, a state level, and a municipal city level. So the federal level was estimated between 80 and 200 trillion on the federal level in 2016.
Wow.
He realized the number was closer, more accurate number of 125 trillion. And then at the state and the municipal level combined was another 20 trillion. This is money that is unfunded, that there is no money for at all, but it's promised money into the future with this tsunami wave of requirement.
Right.
So as the baby boomers, which is that huge bubble everybody talks about, which is very real, they go into retirement, they are not producing any more value, and they are taking a pension, whether it's from Ford, GM, Chrysler, the government, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's a pension. And the reason it's called unfunded because there's no money for it.
Interesting.
Right. And they're also the people who are requiring health because they've been trained to count on doctors to run to when they have a problem, instead of taking responsibility like we do and going, no, forget the doctors.
That's a big...
Doctors are awesome for triage, right? But
big problem, Yeah.
So that was in 2016. Wow. What is it 5 years later? So you go, 17, 18, 19, 20, going into 21. Now we're into the 5th year of this. The situation is that there is been no money for 5 years. And what have they done to compensate it? They've been printing money on a computer, adding zeros to the tune of billions of dollars per day, every day. Billions per day, every day since then. Now, if you do that and you don't tell the people, because normally it used to be they would print paper money that was based on gold, right?
Right.
You would only print the amount of gold you had. And if you had to put more gold, and if you told people, hey, we got to print more money, that caused inflation. So that this phone at $1,500 right, for a high-end iPhone, if you print double the amount of money, now that's got to be $3,000, whether you like it or not.
Right.
And your wages, if you're made $50,000 a year, now you have to make $100,000 a year.
Right. So you can't do that. You can't. So you just can't tell people.
Well, they did it without telling anyone.
Yeah.
And they've been doing this for 5 years. So they kept doubling and doubling and doubling. Now this iPhone realistically should be closer to around $6,000 right now.
Right. But it's not. Right.
And our wages should be up around 600,000.
Right.
Okay? And if we're an employee. But it didn't. They didn't do any of that. So what was built is this incredible fiscal cliff that's real that took it up and up and up without telling anybody. And then they're going to announce it because they ran out of the time for printing the money without telling people. 2020 was the year that they ran out of time. That's all it is.
So they needed an excuse. They needed a reason to just start. I mean, start all the printing presses up.
Yep.
We need an excuse to try to catch up to this. Because if we don't, it's all, the whole thing is curtains.
There's a line you walk over. When you walk over the line, there's no return.
Right.
Now, Anthony Davies offered real solutions back in 2017 when he published that video. Real solutions. Talked about the cutting of cost and spending, right? Cutting your costs.
Yeah. We'll include a link to that video as well.
Oh, yeah. It's awesome. And to make a long story short, they didn't listen. They weren't going to listen. This is an agenda-driven thing. The governments are 100% bankrupt. They are definitely going to default on all retirement payments. All Medicare is going to go away. It's done. It's finished. All of your big companies, Ford, Chrysler, GM, I don't care who they are, Air Canada, United, they're all going to default on all retirement pensions, 100%. And then there's going to be nothing other than no money for the people 60 and up who did not realize they have to be self-sufficient and take care of themselves.
Wow.
They are going to starve because they're not going to have money. They're going to get sick, and there's going to be no Medicare. And that is going to cause an elimination of that category of society because they are the burden in the eyes of the government.
Meanwhile, the nursing home death toll is 1/3 of all of the deaths in the United States. Somewhere
Canada,
around
it's 70% in Canada.
Oh my God!
Like what's the deal?
50, I mean, that's I mean, thank God I just can't imagine. If I had a grandfather or someone who was in a home and I didn't get to say goodbye, and I didn't get to have a funeral, and I was sold all this horse shit, I don't even know what I would do. I mean, it makes me angry just thinking about it.
And so anyone who actually allowed themselves to be told they were not essential are actually non-essential.
Right.
They declared it. That's that nocebo, right? And the
Right.
placebo, all together.
Oh my God. Yeah.
All together, because the nocebo was you're not essential, and the placebo was I'm not essential.
Right.
And the nocebo, you're going to lock yourself in the home and self-incarcerate yourself. I'm going to lock myself and stay safe at home.
Right.
Oops. Now you
Safe
got the
at
full
home.
effect.
Right.
Yeah.
We're all in this together.
Oh,
except you're alone.
As soon as I heard that, I said, "That's bullshit. I'm not in this at all."
Talk about a fucking bill of
Not
sale.
at
Oh my
all.
God.
Total
Don't
insanity.
even get me started.